Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my viewers. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here once more to explore a topic that will be centered on Nigeria as a country, and then we'll be looking at Nigerians who are the citizen or resident who resides in Nigeria. Before I will explore this topic, I will use this opportunity to say thank you to my viewers, to my subscribers, and those that are calling in, and those that are sending emails, and those that are commenting and subscribing in my video, to say thank you for the positive input and contribution that I've given them or that have made a positive impact in their life, which is one of my objectives and goals. I'm very, very grateful for that. And your subscription and your comment means a lot to me. But today we'll be looking at a video, and this topic I said I will be exploring has to do with Nigeria. First of all, you want to ask the question, said, what is Nigeria all about, and why do you want to talk about Nigeria? Which is very, very interesting, and when I elaborate on it, you will see the advantage of it. One, Nigeria is a country, for some of us that doesn't know Nigeria, is a blessed country that is blessed with all forms of natural resources, in terms of rubber, petroleum, cocoa, agricultural produce, and others. Is a very, very blessed country, and we have a good geographical, we are located in a very good geographical location with large mass of population and landscape. The question is that you ask yourself question, that if Nigeria has all this quality in terms of the resources, the land mass, well geographically placed, and with a large number of population, why do we have issues about Nigeria? One, as I earlier said, I said Nigeria is a good country. Nigeria is not a poor country. It's the attitude of Nigerians that is the problem of Nigeria. When I mean attitude, their mindset. Their mindset needs to be addressed. It needs to be corrected on how they think, because for you to be able to change anything, your mindset, your attitude, and your personality has to change. Now, we'll be looking at that in other way. I decided to take this because it's a very broad topic. I decided to look at it from different sub-headings. Like now, I'll be looking at it from the structure. Good. Why I said I'll be looking at it from the structure is that if you look at the structure, you'll be looking at, we're reviewing the structure. What do we review about the structure? It's not we trying to break up Nigeria or trying to split Nigeria into sub-units that I'm looking at in terms of the structure. I'm trying to look, how is this structure organized? Is this structure really, really formatted with the way it is expected to be, from the top to the bottom, in the sense from the presidency to the local government chairman or lowest hierarchy in the status? Because why we have to look at that structure is that if these structures are not fully implemented the way it's expected to be, indirectly we cannot really function the way we are expected to be. Because once the structure of anything is not organized, is not shaped and well structured, indirectly the laws will not be able to reflect that aspect. Let me give you a common example. If the structure is cracked and the structure is not respected, there's nobody for you to say, okay, if there's a problem or there's an issue, this is Mr. A or Mr. B I could go to or could channel it. Though this structure tends to be there, but they are not fully operational. They are not really working the way we expect it to be. So in that sense, people are not respecting the law. For example, like we want the Nigerian president to do a lot of things for us, that our taxation system are not working effectively. Because one, it is obvious that no country or no country president or country leader or country prime minister can ever make you rich. Is the structure in place that could make you rich, or that could make you better, or that could give you some benefits in terms of what you want? Because one, if we want Nigeria as a country to be good, our attitude to taxation to change. One, our taxation system should be restructured, and people should have that attitude, that mindset of paying tax, not bypassing tax, paying tax in the right amount that is better to pay. And this tax that has been paid should be used in a justified way that people will be pleased and happy that they've paid the tax. Then other things you will have to look there again in terms of the structure again is that, like now I've talked about the structure, I've talked about the law, I'll be looking about statistic. Now in terms of statistic now that I really want Nigeria as a country, or Nigerians to exhibit this positive aptitude, it has to do with our documentation process. Just imagine I'm a Nigerian, our birth rate, new babies that are being born are not properly documented. A country that has poor documentation in terms of birth rate and death rate, I don't think the country has a future or it has a plan. Because why I'm saying the country does not have a future or a plan is that if you have a birth rate, you have birth rate of children that are being born into the country today, tomorrow, or yesterday, you don't have a statistic, how will you be able to plan for them? How will you be able to say, okay, how will you be able to make provision for them? These are things Nigerians should look at, because Nigeria as a country will not do this. It's Nigerians and people in power who are in structure should be able to look into that. So, and again, once we are capturing data, we have to capture data in the right way. We have to be factual with our fact. Because if we have an inaccurate data in terms of death rate, birth rate, or the population, we cannot create facilities. We cannot implement resources to be able to shine or lubricate these data or individual that has been, in this individual or statistic that has been derived. Addition to that, again, this statistic or this data of a thing plays a very, very key role in any country. Because if you look at the statistic, for them, you should be able to know the working class, the old class, the elite, and the children, and those that are expected to pay tax. And that will still enable you to know that those that are expected to be in employment and those that are not unemployment. And when you look at that, it takes you to the educational sector. One, the educational sector is a very, very huge aspect that Nigerians really need to look at in terms of the government, the private and individual, and foreign investors going into Nigeria to invest. Because I am privileged to be in the Western world for more than a decade, so I understand what education is. And it touched me more when I see what I've learned in the course of my BSc, my MSc, and my PhD in view. It just cracked me and I said, okay, because my country is really lacking this. So and I said, it would really be good for me to really ship on education, because if I really want to talk on education, it can take me the whole day. But I just have to give you a basic element of it. For example, one, education should be made compulsory for every Nigerian, every born Nigerian, at least from primary school, from primary to secondary level. One, why it should be compulsory is that one, education, a man that is not educated is as dangerous than a scorpion. Because once you are educated, at least even though you are not fully educated to some level, to your secondary level, it gives you some basic foundations. It gives you an upfront. It gives you a light towards your pathway or towards the skill or the life career that you want to go through. How can you just imagine that you as an adult, you will say you've not been to secondary school, you've not been to primary school. It's too risky. No matter who you are, no matter the money you have, it's risky. Even yourself as an individual, you know that it's a shameful thing. Yeah, but the question is not really your fault that it's a shameful thing that you didn't get it. Because the structure is not there. If the structure is not there, that some of us are not privileged to have this because the structure is not there. We're not going to linger on in that way to allow the structure to remain in that way, which is not good, which is a cancer in the system. That is why I'm shipping it in, that it will be positive, it will be good, it will be a swift response for the Nigerian government to look at it, for an individual to look at it, for private investors to look at it, to ship in this further. Education should be made compulsory from primary level to secondary level, because one, it will enlighten your citizen, it will give your citizen a structure and a belief and the arms and facts about the country. Because when you know that there are some certain things you are expected to do and there are some that you're not expected to do. So hence, in regards to this education, because you can see that I'm throwing more light on it, that please, Nigerians and the government and the structure in place in regards to this, terms of these educational bodies or educational authorities, should look at it to reinforce policies to state and agree that education should be free from primary to secondary level, because it's a compulsory, it's a mandatory element that an individual must have for that person to foster to be able to function effectively as is expected to function as a human being. Then, addition to that again is that we should be looking at our care package. The care package now is, now you see, I'm trying to bring it based on the structure. Like now, you've gone to school. If you've gone to school or you've learned skill, there's a tendency that, yeah, you will work or you will have a skill that you're working on, in that you're going to have wages. Once your wages are good, once your remunerations are good, and your remuneration or your wages are good, it enables you to be able to focus, to plan, to say, okay, now I will be able to earn this amount of money, and I'll be able to budget this. If I'm going to have children, if I'm going to build a house, if I'm going to do anything, because the wages are enough. Then it will be a shame that you as an individual, a graduate or a skilled individual, is working and the wages is not good. That is why it will really be good for the wages to be reviewed, and people should be paid for their dignity and with respect. Addition to that, again, we should be looking at the health sector. The health sector is a basic need that an individual should have, because at times it's either you work too hard or you work less. At the time, also you get old or something, you need the health sector. Even though you are able to fly out of the country now, at the time you cannot fly anymore. You cannot fly with a wheelchair. You cannot fly with crutches. You cannot fly when you are very old. So it will be very good for Nigerians and their structure in place to provide facilities in terms of hospital. All these are basic needs. In addition to that, government will be able to do this, as I earlier said, when the taxation systems are effective. And that's why you see these structures has to really be looked at, so that we can have effective hospitals, either private or government, at a reduced price, at a subsidized price, to offer services that Nigerians, that individuals or people that are residing in Nigeria really need. The other aspect again is security. Yes, we all grumble about security, we all grumble about our police force. It all boils down to wages. Somebody is not well paid. Somebody has no dignity in terms of his career. Somebody has no passion in what he's doing. What does he have to do? It has to go on a negative path. So once you look at this element that I'm talking of, that I've been discussing in terms of your wages, your structure, paying tax, respect and dignity, you see that people will cherish their wages. People will have passion in doing what they want to do. They will have passion in putting their best in what they want to do. The structure and the wages and the resources or the income gap is too much. It's just too much, whereby some are earning huge amount of money, some are not earning anything. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, because if you know you are not earning anything and some earn more, you want to crave to go and earn more. You don't care to know what you have to do to want to go and earn more, which is a problem. So at the long run is that we should try to put a wage system, a structure in place whereby the wages are not, the differences are not too much. I understand there's a benefit for hard work if you are well read, or if you go to school, or if you have a skill, that your wages might should be a bit different for someone that doesn't have it. But it shouldn't be that much, whereby you just say it's too obvious that some are just really slaves to the society, then why some are kings in the society. Is not good. Then again too is housing. Housing is a huge problem in Nigeria, whereby we don't have a structure, we don't have a pattern, we don't have a mode of which our houses should look like. No. The government should come with a structure whereby if states are building, even though it's a room containing a toilet and a bathroom, even if like overseas here in London, we call them studio flats. They are small apartments. It could be 1-bedroom flat. You build them, subsidize them out to civil servants. I know we are doing it already, but we can still do more. Private bodies can do that. And again, we should have a structure in the sense that we said, okay, these are the standard these houses should be. These houses should be livable. It should be livable in the sense that you don't see people living like rats. At least it should be average. It should be average. At least those basic amenities should be there. Those are things we should really put into consideration, and our lifestyle will improve in terms of this. Because if we say we have a standard and we value life and we appreciate life and the best is expected of us, then our lifestyle will change. Nobody will tell you to plant flowers around your compound. Nobody will tell you to put your dirty baskets or your dirty bins or your litters in the bin. So you will just do that because when your lifestyle will change, because the environment you are, is being tidy. That is why I said at first, I said our attitude matters a lot. And those are things that we really need to look at. Like imagine now you'll be living in a country, you will say there is no road. If there is no road, the damage that's caused to the economy. There is no road. Roads are not good or roads are not effective. It's a shameful thing. What I said is a shameful thing is that at least the road ministers, the minister of works, should look at all these things, or state government or any structure that is responsible for this. So what can I do? What should we do to implement this? It could be you give this incentive to private individuals that are doing it, because we have a lot of rich men, we have a lot of big men, wealthy men in Nigeria, or Nigerians that are wealthy. What stops you of saying your street, your area, your community, your village, where you come from, you want to do some certain road project? You can do it because you have the money. Or if you don't want to do it with your money, at least we should raise some charitable functions. We should raise some charitable organization in the sense that you can give them, you can donate, they can voluntarily go and do it. Because if you donate money to a charity organization or to an individual or a Rotary organization, and this money is being used in a justified way, you will be pleased to do it. So those are the structures that I said that people really have to look at, coupled with other facilities that are really needed in terms of our basic amenities, like our market, our transportation, our road system. They are primarily very, very vital that we shouldn't disregard. If markets are well built and is well structured, and the numbers of shades or the numbers of stores you have in your market, you will be able to put tax accurately on those markets. You're able to put revenues that you want to collect. At the same time, people are using these good facilities. They are paying for it. That's why this system must work. Because I'm saying all this because I felt that Nigeria, the value we have to respect it. We are human beings. Life has to be respected. We shouldn't treat ourselves as if we are animals. We shouldn't treat ourselves as if we are less value or we are less human. We are not less human. No human is better than any man in this world. God created every man equally. It's just the value we set for ourselves. It's just the structure that we set for ourselves. That is why we can see, if you take it back, it boils down to the education. If when I'm in secondary school, I'm in primary school, I was told not to do this, this is what I'm expected to do, this is the structure I have to do, it has stayed in me. But it will be risky when I don't have that structure. That was what I was saying. Education, a key education, knowledge plays a significant impact in our life for us to be able to achieve this. For example, you'll be saying in the north, somebody is a fool and he has smart, somebody is this or this and this that. The question is that, do you think if that man is educated, if that man has the prospect of tomorrow, if that man has the respect and value of life, or that boy or that individual, do you think they will be doing that? No. At times they just demoralize themselves because they feel the structure is not working, because they feel the system is not working. And whereas we have a large population, our population alone is a resources that could help us to generate wealth, that could help us to generate the resources that we want. Then other aspect again, like I was talking about, other aspect I was looking at again is that, like now we're talking about team working. Once you look at team working, if we decided to work as one, it cuts out religion, it cuts out tribe, it cuts out being north, it cuts out being south. That team working should be there, so we can have one objective for Nigeria to say, okay, I don't care the location, the geographical location where you come from. I don't care the language or the tribe you keep or the religion you keep, but we have one objective, that we have to value ourselves. I normally tell my friends in London, I said, if you reside or you have any religion that says you shouldn't cherish life or you shouldn't love your neighbor, it's not a religion. Because I believe every religion should stir you up to love your neighbor and to treat your neighbor with values. So those values should be applied in our day-to-day life, and it will make things better for us. And when we put those values into our life, anything that we choose to do, then we have to do it well. How can you be walking on the road? How can you be walking on a rail? How can you be working on a building project, but you're not using materials that are good? It's not a shameful thing. That means you don't care. You care for the money, but you don't care for the individual that will be staying there. So once you are looking at all these things, it's very, very painful. It's touchy. What you see that a country doesn't have a right mindset the way they have to do it. Like now, I live in London. What does the United Kingdom have? They don't have any natural resources. All they do, they build houses, they give it out, they help the support, and they tax. You work, you pay your tax. The system is working, the structure is working. So we can still make our system to work. That is why we living overseas for decades is to take the knowledge that we've gained as a resources to go to our country and better it up. But not we being overseas or being in Africa or travel overseas and go back. We are not implementing this knowledge. And this present innovative technology, now, it has helped to address all this. Even though you are not in London, you can Google and see things. So we should change our mindset. The one I want to talk about again is that a lot of Nigerians always talk about is that, oh, Nigerian is never good. Nigeria as a country is never good because of crime and this and that. I want to wrap this one up is that Nigeria is a very lovely country. It's a good country and it's a blessed country. It's the attitude of Nigerians that has to change. I'm happy I'm from Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian. I'm happy Nigeria is my country because we are blessed and we have everything you can think in this world. Good. But the question is that we have to change our mindset and we should always have this in our mind. That crime, there's statistic of crime everywhere in the world in terms of drug, prostitution, and armed robbery. But if there's an opportunity, there's an opportunity that you can rely on, that you can invest on, and there's a flare that you know that you can live on, it helps to reduce all this. So that it will not just be of an increase. Because to be honest, I don't think anybody wants to die. I don't think for the way God created us that anybody wants to be poor or anybody will feel like suffering. At times when they feel they don't have any options, they tend to go into negative things. Some could be either into armed robbery, pen robbery, 419, or all sorts of negative things. So it happens in every part of the world. But for us to be able to curb this one, for us to be able to reduce it, I'm trying to sum up now, is that we should look at the educational standard. We should evaluate our education with good curriculum. People should be employed based on the profession and trade and skills that they have. We should not be employing people based on where they come from. We should employ people based on the skill that they can possess. There's one good thing too I've learned too from London education system. What they do, they always tell us to write essays. To write essays about what can better the country's hospitals. Anything they see as a problem, they give it to students to write as an essay or as a report. So what they do, different students put their views and knowledge. What is the professional do? They collect those information, take the best, and use it to enhance their country. These are things we can do. We can bring up a topic today. What can we do to stop crime? How can we have the best transaction? What can we do to better our police force? Put it as a school debate. Put it as an exam test to students. Let them write it for them. You collect it for them. You get facts because we have populations and we have resources from this population because human resources is a resources. So we can use it to facilitate, to better off our countries, to have a new look and a new picture of our country. And at this point, I will use this opportunity to conclude this video to say that Nigeria is a blessed country. That Nigerians are blessed, but our mindset has to change. Once more, thank you for listening to these videos. Your comments and your views are highly appreciated. And I will say thank you because I'm not able to do this if not for your contribution and your positive support. At this time, I will say thank you as you subscribe. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.